Hello everyone, and a warm, heartfelt welcome to you. I'm so glad you've chosen to spend this time with us today. Welcome to today's video on mastering the 5 M's for a balanced life. We're going to embark on a journey together, a journey of discovery and transformation, looking at 5 fundamental areas that, when nurtured, can truly change the way you experience your world. Think of it as tuning an instrument. When each string is in harmony, the music that flows is beautiful, resonant, and deeply moving. This is about finding that inner symphony within yourselves, creating a life that doesn't just look good on the outside but feels profoundly good, peaceful, and aligned on the inside. Life, as we all know, can be a whirlwind. It pulls us in so many directions, demanding our energy, our focus, our very essence. But what if I told you that there are anchors, pillars you can build, that will help you stand strong and centered no matter what storms may come? These 5 aspects can help you lead a more fulfilling and harmonious life. We're not talking about quick fixes or superficial changes. We're talking about deep, meaningful shifts in how you approach your daily existence, how you connect with yourself, with others, and with a higher purpose. It's about intentional living, making conscious choices that lead to a life rich with meaning and joy. Today, we're going to delve into these 5 M's: your mouth, your mood, your mind, your money, and your manner. Each one is a vital piece of the puzzle that makes up a whole, vibrant you. We'll explore how to cultivate each area, how to understand its power, and how to integrate these practices into your life so that you can truly thrive. This isn't just information, it's an invitation to step into a more empowered, more balanced, and more joyful version of yourself. So get comfortable, open your heart, and let's begin this incredible exploration together. I know there's something here for every single one of you. Let's start with something we use every single day, often without a second thought: our mouth, the words we speak. Have you ever truly paused to consider the immense power that resides in your tongue? It's a force, a real energy that we send out into the world with every sentence, every whisper, every declaration. Our words can build magnificent bridges of understanding and connection, or they can erect walls of hurt and isolation. They can be a soothing balm to a wounded spirit, or a sharp arrow that pierces the heart. This isn't just poetic, it's a profound truth about the human experience. I remember times in my own life when a single kind word lifted me from a place of despair, or when a harsh one lingered, casting a shadow long after it was spoken. We've all been there, haven't we? On both sides of that exchange, the Bible itself, in Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 tells us, "The tongue has the power of life and death." Think about that for a moment. Life and death. That's the magnitude of what we're dealing with. It's a sacred responsibility then, how we choose to wield this power. It's about recognizing that our words are not empty air, they carry vibrations, intentions, and consequences. So, how do we begin to master this incredible instrument? It starts with mindfulness, with a conscious awareness of what we're about to say before it leaves our lips. It's about taking that almost imperceptible pause, that breath that allows us to choose. Will this word heal? Will it help? Will it uplift? Or does it come from a place of anger, frustration, or judgment? This internal check-in can transform our communication and in turn, transform our relationships and our own inner peace. It's a practice, like any other, that strengthens with intention. Consider the simple act of speaking kindly. It sounds so basic, doesn't it? Yet, in a world that can often feel rushed and abrasive, kindness in speech is a revolutionary act. It's about choosing words that affirm, that validate, that show respect, even when we disagree. It's about understanding that behind every face, every opinion, there's a human heart with its own stories, its own struggles, and its own longing for understanding. Kindness doesn't mean we become doormats, it means we communicate with grace and compassion. And what about the words we speak to ourselves? Oh, this is a big one. That inner dialogue, the voice in our head. Is it a critical taskmaster or a compassionate friend? The way we talk to ourselves shapes our self-esteem, our confidence, and our ability to navigate challenges. If we constantly berate ourselves, we are in essence using that power of death against our own spirit. Learning to speak to ourselves with the same kindness and encouragement we would offer a dear friend is a vital step in mastering our mouth. Practicing mindful communication also means truly listening. So often we're just waiting for our turn to speak, formulating our response while the other person is still talking. But true communication is a dance, a give and take. It's about listening to understand, not just to reply. When we listen deeply, we gather the information, the emotion, the unspoken cues that allow us to respond in a way that is truly connecting and constructive. This creates a space where others feel heard, valued, and respected. Think about the ripple effect of your words. A word of encouragement to someone having a tough day can change their entire perspective. A word of praise for a job well done can inspire greater creativity and effort. A word of forgiveness can mend a broken bond. These are not small things, they are the very fabric of positive human interaction. Each positive word you send out contributes to a more loving and supportive environment around you, and it often comes back to you in beautiful ways. Conversely, negative words, gossip, harsh criticism, complaints, also have a ripple effect, creating an atmosphere of negativity and distrust. It's so easy to get caught up in that cycle, isn't it? But we have a choice. We can choose to be conduits of positivity. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means addressing challenges constructively, with language that seeks solutions, rather than simply assigning blame or spreading discontent. Let's consider the power of affirmation, both for ourselves and for others. Speaking affirmations, positive statements about our abilities, our worth, our goals, can literally reprogram our minds for success and well-being. And when we affirm others, when we acknowledge their strengths and their goodness, we empower them to see it in themselves. Imagine a world where we all made a conscious effort to speak words that build up, that inspire, that heal. The challenge then is to become a guardian of our words, to treat them as precious resources, to be used with intention and care. This isn't about being inauthentic or suppressing our feelings. It's about expressing ourselves in ways that are both true to our experience and respectful of others. It's about recognizing the sacred trust we've been given with the power of speech and choosing, moment by moment, to use it for good, for life. So, I invite you this week to pay special attention to your mouth. Notice the words you choose, the tone you use, the impact they have. Practice that pause, choose kindness, speak life, and watch how this one shift can begin to transform not only your interactions, but your entire experience of the world. It's a journey, not a destination, but every mindful word is a step in the right direction. Now let's turn our attention inward, to the landscape of our emotions, to our mood. Oh, our moods. They can be like the weather, can't they? Sometimes sunny and bright, other times stormy and turbulent. But unlike the weather, we have more influence over our inner climate than we often realize. Managing our emotions isn't about suppressing them or pretending we don't feel what we feel. It's about understanding them, navigating them, and cultivating a resilient, positive outlook even amidst life's inevitable ups and downs. One of the first steps in managing our mood is to simply acknowledge our emotions without judgment. We all feel anger, sadness, fear, joy, excitement. These are all part of the human tapestry. The problem arises not from the emotions themselves, but from how we react to them, or when we let them take complete control, steering our ship into troubled waters. Recognizing I am feeling anxious right now is very different from I am an anxious person. That distinction is key. It creates space for choice. The Apostle Paul, in Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, offers such profound wisdom here. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. This isn't a call to ignore our anxieties, but a pathway to process them. It's about taking those swirling emotions and bringing them into the light, offering them up, and importantly, coupling that with thanksgiving. Gratitude, even in difficult times, can be a powerful anchor for our mood. Recognizing our emotional triggers is another crucial piece of this puzzle. What are the situations, the people, the thoughts that tend to send your mood spiraling downwards? Becoming aware of these triggers is like getting a roadmap to your emotional landscape. Once you know where the potholes are, you can learn to navigate around them, or at least prepare yourself for the bump. This self-awareness empowers you to respond more consciously, rather than react impulsively. And then, there's the beautiful, essential practice of self-care. This isn't selfishness, it's self-preservation. It's about understanding what recharges your batteries, what soothes your soul, what brings you back to center. For some, it might be a quiet walk in nature. For others, it's losing themselves in a good book, listening to music, spending time with loved ones, or engaging in a creative pursuit. Whatever it is for you, making time for these activities isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for maintaining a balanced mood. Cultivating gratitude, as mentioned in Philippians, is perhaps one of the most transformative practices for our emotional well-being. It shifts our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, from our problems to our blessings. Starting or ending your day by consciously listing things you're grateful for, no matter how small, can literally rewire your brain for positivity. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you practice gratitude, the stronger that positive outlook becomes, naturally influencing your prevailing mood. It's also important to remember that it's okay not to be okay all the time. We live in a culture that sometimes pressures us to be perpetually happy. But that's not realistic, nor is it healthy. Allowing ourselves to feel the full spectrum of our emotions, to grieve when we need to grieve, to be sad when sadness is present, is part of emotional honesty. The key is not to get stuck in those more challenging emotions, but to allow them to move through us, learning what they have to teach us along the way. Prayer and petition, as the scripture suggests, offer a powerful outlet and a source of strength. Turning to a higher power, to God, in times of emotional turmoil can provide comfort, guidance, and a sense of perspective. It's about acknowledging that we don't have to carry our burdens alone. This spiritual connection can be a profound source of emotional resilience, helping us to find peace, even when circumstances are challenging, and to anchor our mood in something deeper than fleeting feelings. Think about the people you surround yourself with. Do they uplift you, or do they tend to drain your emotional energy? Our environment, including our social circles, significantly impacts our mood. Choosing to spend more time with positive, supportive individuals who radiate good energy can make a world of difference. And just as importantly, learning to set healthy boundaries with those who consistently bring negativity into your space is an act of emotional self-defense. Finally, remember the power of your physical body in influencing your mood. Regular exercise, adequate sleep, and nourishing food all play a vital role in our emotional state. When our bodies are well cared for, our minds and emotions tend to follow suit. A brisk walk can clear the head and lift the spirits. A good night's sleep can restore our emotional equilibrium. These are simple yet profound tools at our disposal for managing our mood effectively. So, the invitation here is to become a compassionate observer and a gentle guide for your own emotions. Recognize them, understand their triggers, practice self-care, cultivate gratitude, seek support when needed, and remember the wisdom that encourages us to bring our anxieties to God with thanksgiving. Nurturing your inner sunshine is an ongoing practice, a commitment to your own well-being that will allow you to navigate life with greater peace, resilience, and joy. Let's now explore the incredible realm of our mind. This is the command center, the place where our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes take shape, profoundly influencing how we perceive and interact with the world. Focusing on mental clarity and discipline isn't about having an empty mind, but a mind that is clear, focused, and aligned with our highest good. It's about cultivating a mental landscape that supports our growth, our wisdom, and our ability to live a purposeful life. The scripture from Romans chapter 12 verse 2 offers such a powerful directive. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. This speaks to a conscious, active process. Renewing your mind isn't a passive event, it's something we must engage in deliberately. It's about challenging old thought patterns that no longer serve us, and cultivating new ones that do. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of this mental renewal. What are the habitual thoughts that run through your mind each day? Are they empowering, or are they limiting? Do they reflect truth, or are they echoes of past criticisms or fears? Becoming an observer of your own thoughts without immediate judgment is the first step. It's like shining a light into a cluttered room. You first have to see what's there before you can decide what to keep, what to discard, and what to rearrange. Prioritizing learning and personal growth is essential fuel for a renewed mind. This doesn't necessarily mean formal education, though that can be a part of it. It means cultivating a curiosity about life, being open to new ideas, reading books that expand your perspective, listening to podcasts that challenge your thinking, engaging in conversations that spark new insights. A mind that is constantly learning is a mind that stays vibrant, flexible, and alive. It's about being a lifelong student of life itself. Mental discipline is another key aspect. Our minds can be like unruly children sometimes, can't they? Jumping from one thought to another, dwelling on worries, replaying negative scenarios. Discipline here means gently but firmly guiding our attention. Practices like mindfulness meditation, even for just a few minutes a day, can train our minds to be more focused, less reactive, and more present. It's about learning to choose where we place our mental energy. Consider the patterns of this world that Romans 12:2 warns us against. These could be societal pressures, materialistic values, negative media influences, or cynical attitudes that can easily seep into our consciousness if we're not vigilant. Renewing our mind means consciously choosing what information we consume, what influences we allow to shape our thinking. It's about curating our mental diet just as carefully as we might curate our physical diet. The transformation mentioned in the scripture is a beautiful promise. When we actively work on renewing our minds, we begin to see things differently. Problems may start to look like opportunities. Challenges may become stepping stones for growth. Our ability to discern what is truly good, pleasing, and aligned with our deepest values, with God's will, as the scripture says, becomes clearer. This clarity brings a sense of peace and purpose. This process also involves challenging our limiting beliefs. We all carry them. Beliefs about ourselves, about others, about what's possible for us. I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'll never be able to do that. These are just thoughts, not immutable truths. Renewing your mind means identifying these limiting beliefs and actively working to replace them with empowering truths, often rooted in our spiritual understanding of who we are and what we are capable of. Think of your mind as a garden. If you don't actively cultivate it, weeds will inevitably grow. These weeds are the negative thoughts, the anxieties, the self-doubt. Renewing your mind is like tending that garden, pulling out the weeds, planting seeds of positivity, wisdom, and faith, and nurturing them with consistent attention and care. What kind of mental garden do you want to cultivate? The choice and the tools are yours. Personal growth through this mental renewal also allows us to develop greater empathy and understanding for others. As we become more aware of our own thought processes and biases, we can better appreciate the complexities of others' perspectives. This leads to more compassionate interactions and a deeper sense of connection with the world around us. A renewed mind is not just a benefit to ourselves, but to everyone we encounter. So I encourage you to embrace this journey of renewing your mind. Commit to self-awareness, be a lifelong learner, practice mental discipline, challenge those patterns of the world that don't serve your highest good, and trust in the transformative power of this process. As your mind is renewed, you will indeed be better able to test and approve what is good, pleasing, and perfect, and live a life that reflects that beautiful clarity. Now let's talk about something that touches all of our lives in very practical ways: money. For some, this topic can bring up feelings of stress or anxiety, but my hope today is that we can reframe our relationship with money, seeing it not as a master, but as a tool, a resource that, when managed wisely and with intention, can support a balanced and fulfilling life. Being mindful of our finances is an act of stewardship, a responsibility that can lead to greater peace and freedom. The wisdom in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7 is stark and true. The borrower is slave to the lender. This isn't just an ancient saying, it's a financial reality that many experience today. Unnecessary debt can feel like a heavy chain, limiting our choices, creating stress, and often keeping us from pursuing our dreams or living generously. Understanding this principle is the first step towards financial well-being, recognizing the power of living within our means and making conscious choices about borrowing. Creating a budget is often the foundational practice for mindful financial management. Now, I know the word budget can sometimes sound restrictive, but I like to think of it as a spending plan, a roadmap that tells your money where you want it to go, rather than wondering where it went. It's about aligning your spending with your values and your goals. It's an empowering tool that gives you control and clarity over your financial situation. Saving is another crucial pillar. It's not just about saving for a rainy day, though that's important. It's also about saving for your future, for your goals, for opportunities. Even small, consistent amounts saved over time can accumulate significantly. It's about cultivating a habit of paying yourself first, setting aside a portion of your income before it gets absorbed by other expenses. This discipline builds a foundation of security and opens up possibilities. And then there's investing. For some, this might sound intimidating, but at its core, investing is about making your money work for you, allowing it to grow over time. This doesn't mean you need to become a stock market expert overnight. It means seeking sound advice, learning the basics, and making informed decisions that align with your risk tolerance and long-term objectives. Investing is a key component of building long-term wealth and financial independence. Avoiding unnecessary debt is a recurring theme for a reason. This means distinguishing between good debt, like a mortgage for a home that appreciates or a student loan for education that increases earning potential, and bad debt, which is often high-interest debt for consumable goods or experiences that don't build long-term value. Being mindful of this distinction can save you a lot of financial heartache down the road. Financial mindfulness also extends to our consumption habits. Are we buying things we truly need, or are we driven by impulse, advertising, or a desire to keep up with others? Practicing conscious consumption, asking ourselves if a purchase aligns with our values and our budget before we make it, can free up significant resources and reduce financial stress. It's about finding contentment with what we have, rather than constantly chasing more. It's also important to approach money with an attitude of abundance rather than scarcity. This doesn't mean ignoring financial realities, but it means believing in our ability to generate income, to manage our resources wisely, and to attract opportunities. A scarcity mindset can lead to fear-based financial decisions, while an abundance mindset encourages creativity, generosity, and a more positive relationship with money. Generosity is a surprising, yet powerful aspect of financial well-being. When we give, whether it's tithing to our church, donating to a cause we believe in, or helping someone in need, it shifts our focus from our own accumulation to the well-being of others. There's a spiritual principle at play here. That which we give freely often returns to us multiplied, not always in monetary terms, but in blessings of joy, connection, and purpose. Finally, seeking financial literacy is key. Don't be afraid to learn about money, read books, take courses, talk to financial advisors. The more you understand about personal finance, the more confident and capable you will become in managing your own resources. Knowledge empowers you to make informed decisions, avoid common pitfalls, and build a secure financial future for yourself and your family. This is an investment in yourself that will pay dividends for years to come. So, I invite you to look at your finances not as a source of stress, but as an area where you can exercise wisdom, discipline, and foresight. Create that budget, cultivate the habit of saving, explore investing wisely, be mindful of debt, and practice conscious consumption. Remember the wisdom of Proverbs and strive for the freedom that comes from being a good steward of the resources you've been given. This mastery brings not just financial peace, but a greater capacity to live a full and generous life. Finally, we arrive at the fifth M, our manner. This encompasses our habits, our etiquette, the way we carry ourselves, and most importantly, how we treat others. Developing good habits and etiquette isn't about being stuffy or old-fashioned. It's about cultivating a way of being in the world that reflects respect, kindness, and compassion. It's about understanding that our actions, our demeanor, and our interactions significantly shape our relationships and the atmosphere around us. The beautiful and profound instruction from John chapter 15 verse 12, "Love each other as I have loved you," serves as the ultimate guide for our manner. This is a call to a higher standard of interaction, one rooted in selfless love, empathy, and a genuine desire for the well-being of others. It's about seeing the divine in everyone we meet and treating them accordingly. This isn't always easy, but it is always worthwhile. Treating others with respect is fundamental. Respect acknowledges the inherent dignity and worth of every individual regardless of their background, beliefs, or station in life. It's shown in how we listen, how we speak, how we honor boundaries, and how we value others' time and perspectives. A respectful manner creates a foundation of trust and mutual admiration in all our relationships, from the most casual encounter to our deepest bonds. Kindness, a close cousin to respect, is the active expression of a caring heart. It's the small gestures, a smile, a helping hand, a word of encouragement that can make a big difference in someone's day. It's about choosing compassion over criticism, understanding over judgment. Cultivating a manner of kindness means looking for opportunities to uplift and support those around us, making the world a gentler place, one interaction at a time. Compassion takes this a step further. It's the ability to feel with others, to understand their suffering, and to be moved to help. A compassionate manner involves more than just polite behavior. It involves a genuine empathy that connects us at a human level. It's about being present for others in their times of need, offering comfort and support without expecting anything in return. This is love in action. Good habits extend beyond our direct interactions. They include things like punctuality, which shows respect for others' time, tidiness, which contributes to a pleasant environment for everyone, and reliability, keeping our word and being dependable. These seemingly small habits collectively contribute to a manner that is considerate, trustworthy, and a pleasure to be around. They speak volumes about our character. Etiquette, in its best sense, is simply a set of guidelines that help us navigate social situations smoothly and respectfully. It's about knowing how to make others feel comfortable and valued. This can range from table manners to how we conduct ourselves in professional settings, to how we communicate online. While specific rules of etiquette may vary, the underlying principle is always consideration for others. Our manner is also reflected in how we handle conflict or disagreement. Do we resort to anger and accusation, or do we strive for understanding and resolution? A graceful manner involves listening to differing viewpoints respectfully, expressing our own thoughts calmly and clearly, and seeking common ground. It's about disagreeing without being disagreeable, maintaining connection even when we see things differently. Think about the impact of a consistently gracious and kind manner. It not only makes others feel good, but it also elevates our own spirit. When we operate from a place of respect and compassion, we create a positive feedback loop. People respond more positively to us, our relationships deepen, and we experience a greater sense of harmony and connection in our lives. Our outward manner profoundly influences our inner state. Developing these qualities, respect, kindness, compassion, good habits, and graceful etiquette, is a lifelong practice. There will be times when we fall short, when our patience wears thin, or when we react in ways we later regret. The key is to be gentle with ourselves, to learn from those moments, and to recommit to living out the principle of loving others as we have been loved. It's about progress, not perfection. So, I invite you to reflect on your manner. How do you show up in the world? How do you make others feel? Are there habits you'd like to cultivate that would better reflect a spirit of kindness and respect? Embrace the call to love each other deeply, and let that love inform every aspect of your manner. For in doing so, you not only enrich the lives of others, but also create a life of deeper meaning and grace for yourself. And so, we've journeyed together through the 5 M's: our mouth, mood, mind, money, and manner. It's my deepest hope that this exploration has sparked new insights, offered practical wisdom, and inspired you to take intentional steps towards creating a more balanced, harmonious, and fulfilling life. Remember, these aren't just separate compartments. They are interconnected aspects of your whole being. As you nurture one, you'll often find it positively impacts the others, creating a beautiful synergy of well-being that ripples through every area of your existence. By mastering these 5 M's and living according to God's Word, you'll be better equipped to navigate life's challenges and achieve your goals. This isn't about achieving some unattainable state of perfection, but about engaging in a continual process of growth, awareness, and alignment with what truly matters. It's about making conscious choices day by day that bring you closer to the vibrant, purposeful life you are meant to live. The power to transform, to heal, to create that balance truly resides within you, guided by timeless wisdom and a loving Creator. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Carry these principles with you, practice them with intention and self-compassion, and watch as your life begins to unfold in more beautiful and meaningful ways. Until next time, go out there and live your best life, a life filled with purpose, balance, and abundant joy. Be well, and God bless.